Requesting permission for launch. Yeah. Pro show. Yes, sir. Explaining entertainment, keeping them ahead of the culture curve. That's right. Go for launch in 3, 2, 1. Here goes, sir. Start the countdown.
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Disney insider WDW Pro recently speculated on.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. All right. All right. All right. He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. All right. All right. He's like the honey badger. All right. All right.
Man, that Pro guy, he got more answers than Corn Pop. I tune in every day right here from the Oval Office. Sniff air and find out what Pro has to say every day.
Quick, Cheney, we gotta put away the Legos and get in the big boy chair. It's time to listen in to the Pro Show, my favorite show every single day.
I did not have relations with anybody during the Pro Show.
It's Pro. He's gonna be huge.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
All right, everyone, put on your coffee glasses. I'm going.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies and the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most fun you can have at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. This time on a Tuesday. What's going on? Well, we've got a special live stream event that we're going to be doing from now until 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And yes, we are on at an odd time for us. We're usually on Thursdays, but there's so much news and so much celebration that needs to take place. We had to split this thing into 2 times. So yes, we will still do the Pro Show this Thursday. Don't fret. We will continue to have the fun over there as well. But we do need something out of you today more than ever, folks. As people are joining in, we're seeing many of you in the chat saying, oh my gosh, I just saw this. I didn't even know this was happening. Well, just think of all the poor and lonely people out there who were just like you moments ago, and they need your assistance. The way that you help them, you be the electricity. You drive this thing. Please share this out on the social media accounts that you have. Like, share, subscribe, and you know it. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Let's get this thing going, and let's let YouTube know that even on a Tuesday, the Pro Show Live is the place to be. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of big news. Of course, we are all getting ready for the Ahsoka debut, and we're getting some early reviews of that. Folks, if you are a member of this channel, don't worry, because at 11 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, Lauren Connor will join me for a member-exclusive live stream where we will review the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka just as soon as we have had time to watch them. Of course, that's only 2 hours after the episode's debut. Then that will go up live for everybody else tomorrow morning, and we'll see what we think about it. We're going to be fair with Ahsoka, but there's also major other stories breaking today about Disney. You may have seen it on the Valiant Renegade channel where, guess what? I'm calling it Mousegate. That's right, Mousegate is underway where the state of Florida is now appointing an investigator, an inspector general who is going to be looking into whether or not the Walt Disney World Resort was used to misappropriate perhaps millions of dollars of funds into the hands of politicians and to board members and such. We're going to be following that, of course, and that's going to be actually our lead-in topic for today. But before we get started on all of that, let me just say that it's time to bring in our producer extraordinaire. Once again, folks, you know him as the arch villain of Slade Wilson. It is Jonas J. Campbell. Hey, Jonas.
Hey, I guess when I went backstage, my microphone was muted there before. I'm really glad you said that about Ahsoka because when I read it as debut of Ahsoka instead of debut.
Debut. Yep. I see it now. There was an extra T. You were right the whole time, Jonas.
It's so strange to be here on a Tuesday. I just see this tomorrow. I'm going to wake up and think it's Friday. And then I've got the weekend ahead of me, but instead I've got another Pro Show production to put together there. So,
and then you'll be even more excited than if you had a weekend waiting on you, right, Jonas?
Man, right. The show
Remember
itself
the contract, Jonas.
is the best part of my week.
That's what the contract says. Good job, Jonas. Good job. Well, folks, we hope you're ready for a good time. We promise you we are about to give that to you if you're not already having a good time. But we do want to show you something exciting that's happening. And that, of course, is, well, this little thing we call That Part Place. It is not just a website anymore. It is a YouTube channel. And look at that. Look at those flashy, new, shiny graphics.
Ooh, look
straight
at
out
that.
the oven. Good job to Stephen and Jonas coordinating these graphics. And it's just the beginning, of course. We're going to have way more stuff going on here. But Jonas, tell us a little bit about That Part Place, this new channel, this new network that's happening.
Well, as you can see, it's clearly labeled as all the news that should be fun. This is going to be a channel where we'll get to go through some of the things that we haven't been able to cover on the Pro channel. And also, not to overstep here, Valiant does his thing, and he's very secure in that financial and business niche. Now, we will still be following financial and business news, but there are so many things that need to be covered, but probably don't need to be covered for 20 minutes at a time. So it'll be an excellent opportunity to get informed on all the things that are going on in the industry in a very short period of time. So, and also, we'll be highlighting a lot of our friends and allies here. Allies, that sounds like we're at war. We're at a war against
Jonas,
ignorance.
have you been joining DEI sessions now? What are you talking about over there? What are you saying?
I was never a member of the Communist Party.
Yes, sure you weren't, comrade. Sure you weren't. Jonas, is it fair to say that that Park Place YouTube account is going to be a place too where we promote the various members inside?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I'm going to be one of the primary people on this channel, and I'm really going to press on all of my friends to help co-host at times, and to also provide us some of those fun little clips and things that you never really want to do an entire video of, but they still need their time to shine. And that's what we like to do here at That Park Place, is show off all of our fun friends.
Well, speaking of that, Jonas, why don't we then go ahead and welcome in these fantastic friends who have reached such amazing milestones, and we are so pleased for all of them. But go ahead and bring them in, and let's get this show on the road, man.
All right. Well, let's see if he's had time to shave this morning. We're bringing in our friend from the Great White North, the crazy Canuck, Floral from under a rock. Oh,
yeah,
no
that's
shave?
Definitely not shaved.
No, like, is this supposed to be the debates for the Republican primaries?
Right this way, sir. And who will you be? Who are you going to be in the spin room for?
Oh, I just thought that's where the puppets were going. So.
Oh, yes. Well, well played, Floral. Well played.
Thanks. That worked out.
you do say that, and we do have a guest who is supposed to appear at the Republican primaries. It is Vivek Ramaswamy. Oh, wait, sorry. It's Culture Casino.
That definitely looks like Vivek.
No, I really don't. But thank you. Yeah. No, yeah, I won't be there either. Yeah. No.
And now to liven the place up and bring the visual quality much higher on this
What are you trying to
channel.
say, Jonas? Are you trying to call us something less than now? Is that what you're up to?
Well,
I think the word's homely.
Ouch.
That's one of my favorite Dolly Parton quotes. Sure, we need to help the homeless, but we also need to help the homely.
The homely.
All right. Now, on that note, two women who would never be described as such. My goodness. The lovely and talented and very intelligent Lorena Creole.
Hi.
Hello. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at homely because I had to ask my grandma what that word meant when she used it. And she said, a really ugly woman.
and also our wonderful friend from Force of Light Entertainment, Michelle.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
All right. Well, it is a great pleasure to have all of you on here, and I want to start off the show today by focusing on you all. So let's begin. We'll just work our way through. Culture, tell us about your latest milestone in terms of your channel, and tell us about it a little bit.
Well, yeah, somehow magically I reached this weird number of over 10,000, and then they didn't go run away afterwards, because that's what happened the first time that I made my very first milestone. Is I had 1,000 people, and then I didn't anymore. But no, YouTube let me keep them, and the people decided to stay, and I'm very happy to
feed and water them now. Culture, you know
I'm
that.
I'm trying to make sure they get plenty of content every day. So
lots of sunshine, lots of sunshine.
Yeah. They need to be fed the content and given the love, and I just want to say thanks to all of you. If you're a part of my channel, I do appreciate it. And if you're part of these lovely ladies' channels and even the Puppet Guys channel, but if you, you really do make our day, and we make our content for you. And I guess we'd make it for ourselves as well. But I just have a lot of fun, and I'm very grateful. So I'm very proud to be included with this group of amazing beings. So thank you for having me.
We're proud to have you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that goes to Force of Light then. And what's the milestone we've got over there on that channel?
We just celebrated 20K yesterday, so we're excited about that. I think everyone here probably can relate to this. I remember there was a point that Natalie looked at me and she said, Michelle, I don't think we're ever going to get to 1,000. So it's exciting. We're excited. And all of you guys, I think, except Culture, I still need to get you on the channel. Jonas, you were invited, but...
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, well, dibs on Jonas for Friday. Okay, I get Jonas on Friday. You can have him any other day.
No, I was saying Culture outside. Like I've still got to get you on the show. I've had almost everyone else here, and you guys are all awesome.
Anytime, just send me a message. I'll be there. I would feel privileged to be there. So thank you for that.
Oh.
All right, Lorena, you have been blazing so quickly that honestly, the milestone you just had is about to be a little bit antiquated because you're about to hit another milestone. So what are you up to over there?
Oh my gosh. Just given my spicy takes when it comes to, pop culture and theme parks. And, there was a point where I was just like, 100 people, why are 100 people subscribed, to me? Because I got peer pressured into doing a channel. People kept asking me, I'm like, fine, shut up, I'll do a channel and you'll leave me alone. And they're like, oh, you'll get to 1,000 in 5 months. I'm like, yeah, right, sure. Yeah. So it's hard to believe, but I'm blessed and I'm honored that people like to come by my channel and get entertainment from my pain and just my style of just, no sugarcoating it. This sucks. This isn't so bad. This is my guilty pleasure, but so much fun. And I hit 5,000, but now I'm like 150 away from 6,000. So I guess 6,000 will be the kimono stream that I thought I would never get to. But looks like I'm gonna have to make good on that. But yeah, I'm just blessed that I get to do this and other people enjoy it and they have fun, and especially to be here on this channel, all the support from you guys in the chat.
Really, really awesome. Speaking of kimonos, let's go to the fuzzy dragon in the bottom there. Floral, you have reached one of those early milestones now. Tell us a little bit about how this is impacting your channel.
Yeah, no, so we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark because of you guys are awesome, which we're actually now almost at 1,500 because you guys are also awesome for that. And so as of, basically last Saturday, we were officially approved for the monetization stuff. And so we're doing our celebration tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern as the debates go on. So choose your puppets you want to watch, and yeah, I mean, either way, it's a waste of money. So,
well, I love it. And let's say this too. I'm trying to figure out how to share the picture of, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's do this instead. So I was going to show this poll that is happening now with That Park Place, the Twitter account, which is at TPP News Network, follows me. I guess I'll follow That Park Place. How about that? Well, folks, that adds another follower. That's right. That adds another follower. But ladies and gentlemen, we need you to also be following. And That Park Place is going to be putting out links to videos from all of our esteemed guests who are on today, as well as Valiant Renegade and others. And well, there's a poll down there. Make sure you go join in that poll. I don't want to stay on that too long, or else people are going to see the results of the poll. But make sure you go check out That Park Place, both on YouTube and on Twitter /X. And it's time. We need to get into the news of the day. So let's get started on it, folks. We're going to be talking about Mousegate. That's right. That's what I am claiming this is, Mousegate, from the New York Post by Josh Christensen. And as you have probably already seen a little bit on Valiant Renegade, we're going to talk about this on a perchance even deeper level, since we're on round 2 of this. DeSantis, that's the governor of Florida, also one of the ones who will be in that Republican debate. DeSantis asks Florida Inspector General to probe former Disney-appointed board for dropping $2 million on perks, including $500,000 on tickets. Now, one of the things to note here, ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching this, and make sure you're liking and sharing and subscribing. We are at a different time than usual, but one thing to know as we get into this article, this Inspector General has only had a chance to look at 1 year of what was going on. So in 1 year, they racked up $2 million in perhaps inappropriate payments to people who were not part of Disney. We're not talking about paying Disney employees perks for working at Disney. We're talking about government officials receiving Disney perks, and government officials can't receive that. But in a single year, it looks like $2 million. All of this, of course, is rumor and speculation, although we're reading it on a news site. But we will say it's rumor and speculation because we want to take care of ourselves, and we're probably being watched by the mouse. Here's what it says: a board appointed.
We don't want to say allegedly 1,000 times.
Exactly. A board appointed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to oversee the special tax district for Walt Disney World is asking the state's inspector general to probe whether officials on the former board took millions in taxpayer dollars to pay for resort season passes and other perks. In other words, and yes, there is actually a piece of paper that shows that this probably is true. It's called a receipt. In other words, these people who were part of the Reedy Creek Improvement District, they were supposed to be their own thing, not Disney, and they were government officials because they ran a government with government powers, and it looks like, at least in this 1 year, millions of dollars was flowing to them through Disney, and this is just the beginning. There could have been more. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District told the Inspector General's office on Monday that the board that used to oversee the Orlando Theme Parks District paid Disney more than $2 million last fiscal year for its members and employees to have season passes, as well as discounts on hotel stays, merchandise, food, and beverages. Note that's why I think this could grow and grow. Board members and employees of what was then known as the Reedy Creek Improvement District racked up $492,000 for tickets, $16,000 for merchandise discounts, $5,000 for food and beverage discounts, and $3,000 in water parks discounts, according to a copy of the 2022 fiscal year first quarter invoice obtained by the Post. First quarter invoice.
Do you want to see that invoice? Because we do have that invoice.
Absolutely. And it's actually right here. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this and get rid of that ad. Here we go. Well, actually, I can't zoom in. No, I can. There we go. There we go.
Here, I think this might be a little bit bigger.
Well, you'll have to hold on, Jonas.
There it is.
Hold on a
There
second.
we go.
You're dated, Pro. You're dated. You're behind the times.
Well, actually, my screen has gone completely haywire, so give me just a moment.
Here, my screen's got it. It's up. It's up.
Jonas, you may have to take over production for a moment.
I did take over production. It's on the screen right now.
Things
He's
have
got you covered.
Okay, Jonas, take over for a moment and go
do
through
not
it for-
attempt to adjust your set.
All right, I'm handing it to Jonas for a moment.
RCID tickets amounting $492,382 right there. My goodness. Merchandise discount usage. This is starting to sound like these might be employee discounts. Food and beverage discounts. Water park discount usage. Mini golf discount usage. And service awards. All totaling the amount of $533,000 for 1 quarter in 2021. Oh, 2022. Sorry, Q1 2022. So this would have been right around the time that Bob Chapek was leaving the company.
Can I just comment about how I think it's hilarious?
Did I say that wrong?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's hilarious that ever since that earnings call where Iger dropped the ball and conflated Disney with RCID, everyone's been doing it. Like, no one set up the barrier. So basically, that whole thing is like just gone. Like that separation between the two doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, this used to be a great Disney company legend that they went through and they bought all these things and they, helped them set up so they could do the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow, but they never ended up actually setting up that city. We could probably...
Well, they kind of did. They set up 2 pseudo cities that were actually cul-de-sacs with mobile homes around them. And then they determined who lived in the mobile homes and called those real cities with real government powers. So it's sort of.
Yeah, it's and those if you ever try to get anywhere near those cul-de-sacs, the Walt Disney Company will know you are coming because there is no good reason to be back there.
No, their
Although
security
I have driven by them many
is,
times.
roaming around.
I think that has raised its profile more recently, since maybe some YouTube channels out there have let everyone know exactly where they are according to Google Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I have been curious, and I have not been able to get back there to look. I guess I could have been able, but I chose not to. But I wonder if the mobile homes are still there. I don't know what purpose they would serve any longer.
I think you're right. And the idea that they need to keep up this substantiation, this otherwise known as a farce of having people, quote unquote, live there in order to be residents, whether or not it's just having an address there. If you are a high level Disney employee who has retired, I don't know that you would want to, at that point, go sleep in some trailers in the Florida heat. I'm not saying these things don't have air conditioning, but you're probably well-to-do if you are one of those longtime Disney employees or people who have, I don't know, received somewhere near $500,000 in perks and discounts from the Walt Disney Company. I'm thinking they probably don't need to stay in a trailer.
Yeah, I don't think they have the double wide luxury trailers like you see in rural Florida when you've really made it, in the trailer park.
I just have this very comical vision of when the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District took over. I have this funny dream that at the middle of midnight, maybe even later, maybe 3 a.m., that those mobile homes were hauled out of there in black SUVs, pulling them ahead, wrapped in tarp so that nobody knew what was inside. It's just the kind of feeling I get. And I'll tell you this, so not to be comical on this one, but this is serious. When a state appoints an inspector general to look into something you're doing, that doesn't mean that they know everything you were doing. Because if they did, they wouldn't need an additional inspection. And that's what inspectors do. So Disney right now is on the cusp of their problems. This is not the full length of their problems being revealed and put into the sunshine. When we're talking about, well, let's just add it up, right? $2 million inappropriately used, allegedly, in 1 year. How long has Disney World been there? Oh, a long time. Wonder what the statute of limitations is on all of this stuff. Let's say it's 15 years, right? If it's 15 years on some of this stuff, potentially $30 million in inappropriate use of funds for various politicians, government board members. Ooh, that's not good. But that's just the beginning of it, because once the Inspector General begins to look into Reedy Creek Improvement District and what it was up to with the books and what potentially is also missing from those books, that's really where Disney is out in the open and vulnerable. Because I'm not sure that they took care to cover their tracks so well, because I don't think they ever thought they'd be in this spot. I should have asked Culture what he thinks about it right as he takes a drink, because that would put him in an awkward spot. Not as awkward as Disney, but Culture, what do you think is going to happen here? How much gets revealed in all of this?
Well, I think Ticket Gate is just the tip of the iceberg.
You call it Mouse Gate. Come on, Culture.
Oh, I want to call it Mouse Trap.
Darn it, Mousetrap's better too.
Gate.
I think I like Mousetrap. Okay, so I think Mousetrap is just the tip of the iceberg. I think Valiant Renegade was onto something in his video today, and it's funny. Pro and I visited on this briefly this morning when we were putting our that video together here on the channel. But I think this is just the beginning, and I think there's an awful lot of things that they're going to have to try to sweep under the rug. The problem is that the rug's been removed at this point, so hiding things is going to be a lot harder, and they will have to do it out in the open. And if you have somebody like that that's empowered to go in and kind of tear you apart, that's never a good sign.
So what you're saying is the impairment charges might be for $1.9 billion worth of content, the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, and maybe 24 double wides spread out between Buena Vista and Bay Lake.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if you've ever like traveled the airstrip there, which just ended up being storage for a period of time, I mean, there's a lot of hidden things at Disney World that the public doesn't see, the state officials don't normally see, even the law enforcement didn't see. I mean, there's a third fire station that's buried back behind an area where nobody's aware of it. They used to be, with station number 3. I mean, there's a lot of things hidden there, and now we know that there's paperwork hidden there. There's some financial dealings hidden there. There's a lot of things hidden there. So I fully suspect that the farce, I think was aptly referred to as, I think that has now been exposed, and I think that's going to come back to haunt them for a long time.
Oh, looks like we lost Lorena. Hopefully we can find her somewhere behind all the Spanish moss.
Maybe she's jumping a couple fences to check on the double wides.
I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me though. She's very athletic.
So, Michelle, we haven't heard from you on this. What are your thoughts on Disney and the corruption that may exist at Disney World now being brought forth into the sunshine of the Sunshine State?
Yeah, well, I actually got to talk to Legal Mindsets last night on Toxic Film, and he was just saying that basically Disney's going to have to begin immediately to start cutting checks to people to try to pay back, basically, because I mean he thought it was pretty cut and dry. That there's I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm not the legal expert. That's him. But as far as Disney, I'll leave the legal stuff to culture and Legal Mindset. As far as Disney, I think I think it was on Valiant's channel. I think you were there that I said they're kind of like Disney's hubris is kind of like the level of the Titanic. Like they're pretty much like God himself couldn't sink this ship. And instead of actually turning when they hit the iceberg, they began the turn, but then they're just letting the iceberg slice through the entire ship as it goes by slowly, instead of only letting the first 5 compartments get hit. I mean, I think really that is the point of this is just Disney's hubris and arrogance. I mean, it's kind of like a crime boss. They become so arrogant they don't think they're untouchable, and that's kind of where Disney is. They felt they were untouchable, and I mean, I guess they didn't see the movie The Untouchables because no one is truly untouchable. But well, like I shouldn't say no one in America anymore. But but that's where they are. So it'll be interesting to see what actually comes of this.
You know, Michelle, you are actually 100% right. And I guess since I'm closest to the rat, he tried to knock me offline, but you know, I'm back. But when I talk about how a lot of Floridians see Disney as Yankee carpetbaggers, that they basically came in and stole this land and this power from the state of Florida, Disney has not been challenged in decades. They've been allowed to do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. And when they've gotten caught, okay, me a couple, we'll give you a little bit of money. And then, you know, you won't bring it back up again. They act as if they're untouchable, that they can, you know, that they can do anything. And of course, we saw that when Iger went after, you know, the state of Florida and basically said, how dare you Hicks push back on us? Don't you know we made Florida? Don't you know we pay, you know, so many taxes in the state of Florida and we employ so many people? It's like, no, you're not the largest employer in Florida. That will belong to Publix, not you. And just the arrogance that just came off of him with that. They didn't expect for the state to push back, because why would the state push back? They've been allowing and coddling Disney for decades. Why would they think anything would change? But they're finding out real fast. There's a new sheriff in town. Attitudes have changed, you know, among Floridians, your regular Floridians who say, like, the ones that, you know, that make their living from like fishing on the coast, they could care less about Disney. They could really care less about them.
Lorena, I'm thinking about what you're talking about, and this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've been tweeting about it. That when I was a kid, it was a thing to where you could, a family of 6 could pay money and go to Disney World, and it wouldn't break the bank. It'd be less than $500. You can get in and out of there. That's a big family, and that's still not that much money. I take it back. It would be $200 in 1991 money. It would be less than $400 by inflation, if you follow my figures here. And now in current day dollars, anything close to that trip would minimum be $1,000. I wonder if people are so detached from the Disney experience that they've lost, like they've lost the poor folks, they've lost the normal people. They've lost us, unless we're willing to fork over an arm and a leg to get in there in that park for our one chance to
Jonas, I told you not to use any more leprosy jokes. You're going to get us in trouble.
Speaking of the Untouchables.
That's 2 leprosy jokes. You're fired.
But Jonas, you're absolutely right, because Disney has basically said in so many words, you know what, we don't want your money. We wanted to make it cheap for you guys, but we don't want you anywhere. We want the ones who are going to drop thousands to $10,000s, to come here. And even for people who could afford that premium, like yours truly, if we do go, you see us all parked at the value resorts. I've never seen so many luxury vehicles parked at like Pop Century and Art of Animation, because it's just like we can pay it, but we're not going to pay it because we do not see it as a value. And it's very obvious that you do not want the traditional, middle class family, or even if they're not middle class, the ones that if they save for a little bit, they could actually make a good trip of it and get their money's worth.
Well, the last time I went down there was 2021, October of 2021. And I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'd have to go back and look at the bill, but I believe it was 3 of us, and we only went 2 days to 2 different parks. So 2 parks, in 2 days, 3 people, and I want to say it was around $700 with taxes.
That's about right.
Just getting into the parks. And I mean, that's pretty outrageous. I mean, there's very few families that are even just 3. And so if you add another kid there, I mean, yeah, you're right at $1,000 for 2 days to get into a theme park where you're going to have to wait and be in the heat. And it's just, there's a lot of better ways to spend one's money.
and I'll say this too. I think you bring up a great point about this increase in the cost to going to Disney parks. You've got, of course, the cost of the ticket. You've got the cost of parking. You've got the cost of skipping the lines, which is now mandatory because everybody else is skipping. So that just means it's a built-in part of the system. You've got the price of skipping the premium lines, which are different than the regular lines. You start adding all this up, it's significant, but also, I'm just starting to think about some of this stuff they're uncovering, and I'm willing to bet that the individuals who served on the boards of these pseudo cities, these fake cities, right, Lake Buena Vista and Bay Lake, and then also on the Reedy Creek Improvement District, I just have this feeling. Now, I can't prove this. This is speculation on my part, but I just have this feeling that when they went to the parks, I bet they were treated well. Can we just say well in quotation marks?
Well, that money went somewhere.
I don't know where the monetary value is on that, but I would love for the state of Florida to investigate that. Now, one thing that we are investigating right now is we have put out a poll for all of you out there to participate in. We've got 153 votes so far, which means there's a lot more of you who could be voting on this and let us know what you think. But we're trying to get a name for what should we call this thing that we are witnessing, Disney World itself now under investigation for, would you call it money laundering? Would you call it malfeasance of use of funds? Would you call it bribing government officials? I don't know what you call it, but whatever it is, we're calling it either Mousegate, Mousetrap, Ticketgate, or Cheesegate. And right now, Mousegate and Mousetrap are far in the lead, and they have 45% for Mousetrap, 41% for Mousegate.
Because Mousetrap needs to win, because that was my idea.
And I'll say this, folks, whichever one wins, we will definitely make an emoji for it so that we can have fun with that. Now, as we continue forward on this conversation, though, let me say that, Floral, you did a very kind thing for us, for all of the channels that are participating in that park place. And, Floral, is it okay if we show your brief commercial that you did to celebrate the start of that park place on YouTube?
Floral did a commercial for briefs?
For people to see.
Okay, so we can show you the content.
Yeah.
The reason I ask, Floral, is you're monetized now, so I really don't want to have to cut you a check for this. Is that okay?
No one ever cuts my checks.
Rethinking this.
All right.
Clickbait.
They don't even spell them right in Canada.
Fraud. Drama queen. Ugh. I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel. which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed, so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh my.
Wow.
So that was really nice of you to make for us. That was just really nice that you made it.
Yeah, well, now it's super outdated, so there you go. I mean, at least you can fix it, but, yeah.
Well, now, wait a minute. You just mean because that Park Place, the YouTube channel, looks a little bit
Cleaner,
different now?
better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you know. But thank you to you, Floral, and thank you also if Steven is out there watching for getting that Park Place ready. And again, folks, our goal with that Park Place as it gets ready to launch the YouTube channel is to integrate it with the website, but also to promote all of our friends who are participating in this network. And, well, you're looking at some of our friends right now, right here. They've achieved magnificent milestones, and we hope that you're all out there subscribe to their content because, well, they're doing the kind of stuff we do. And if you enjoy this kind of stuff, why not enjoy way more of it with lots of great personalities and people behind those efforts? Let's get out there and support them. So fantastic. Well, Jonas, are you ready to do some super chats? And then we can talk about the Disney World situation a little bit more once we know whether we're calling it Mousegate or Mousetrap, as well as getting into Marvel news and Star Wars news.
I want to say before he gets into that, WDW, did you hear what Natalie said? Or had you already...
I didn't.
Okay, yeah, you dropped a super chat in, and then Natalie said that when she imagines WDW, because of course she's only really spoke with you the one time you were on our show.
Yes.
She said when she imagines you, she just imagines an angel, a YouTube angel, and I said yes. I said he's the cherubim of YouTube, and that next time you come on our channel, you're gonna have to add a halo over your
I
logo.
think she just called you chubby.
I like to think that my appearance is as a chiseled Mike Rowe with wings. That's what I like to think of it.
We did not say it's chubby angel. We said cherubim.
Yeah, we have enough biblical scholars on this panel that we know that cherubim biblically are not chubby. Erica and Raph became a channel member at the potential level. Thank you so much and welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
As well, Hypnotic in Rapture became a YouTube member at the potential level. Thank you so much.
I am not an angel. I am a cherubim.
Remember that was mortal. JB Spooky Review, member for 4 months, says, wish I could watch editing. Congrats all.
Can't watch that attitude.
Well, we're glad you're listening in. Thank you.
Oh my, somebody gets to jump the line here. Buford T. Justice for 50.
You know, with that kind of price, we better get up there. We better catch the bandit for him.
Congratulations on all your success, WDW. I know I give Lauren a hard time in the comments, but I really appreciate all the WDW contributors. Even Lauren, keep up the good work.
All right, now Buford T. Justice, I really do appreciate that. If there's any way that you can be there for the Ahsoka review, we're not doing a live reaction. I don't know how Lauren is going to respond, and we wanted to be careful with that. So, but when the episodes have concluded, Lauren and I will be on at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight, ready to review the Ahsoka 2 episodes that we'll have. Buford, please be there and give Lauren a hard time. He doesn't know I'm saying this, but get on there and push him back hard. I love when Lauren gets a little pushback because he really thinks hard, and he's not a tough guy in terms of being abrasive or mean, but he really will think through whatever stuff you challenge him with, and he goes to places where you're like, how does he know this? Like he's quoting appendices from some novel from the 70s. How is he possibly able to do this? So push him, push him.
History, like the random crap that guy knows. It's so impressive.
Thank you so much, Buford T. Justice. We really appreciate it. And that is
very, very kind.
Incredibly generous super chat. Anthony for Danish krona, 50 Danish krona.
Right.
There it is.
Nice.
Greetings from Denmark. 38K subs. You're still killing it, pro. Appreciate your great work. Hail to all.
Well, thank you so much. But really, the focus today is on these incredible guests that we have and what they're doing. Of course, don't forget, folks, that Culture is at 10K now. Force of Light hit 20K. Lorena is about to hit 6K. And Floral just reached monetization. And, you know, sometimes we think about those subscriber numbers and we turn them into these things that give channels their worth. But I'm here to tell you that part of the fun is being around the channels that are about to explode. And every one of the people on this panel today, they have channels that just get out there and support them because their content is incredible.
I'm glad you can say.
And speaking of venting these channels, Miss
Floral
Martin,
was trying to speak, but he's been puppet muted. What are you trying to say, Floral?
No, I said, glad you just didn't say our channel's going to explode because I got a troll that he'd fulfill that.
He probably would.
He's blown up a lot of stuff in previous event specials we tried to have.
He blew up a restroom in in an ad that you guys did for me, and it was special at best.
He blew up a restroom. That's a headline I'm going to take from that. Miss Martin Muses for $1. It's a super sticker and it's a rose. I think that's appropriate. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Also, Tripping Orc gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
So
Thank
nice,
you very
man.
much.
All we can say back is, no, we don't say that. We say, Zug Zug. Come on, Jonas, you play for the Horde. There you go. That's a Horde. That's a peasant.
Yes, me lord. Space Dave 2000 for $2 Canadian dollars. Congrats on the success to all on the panel. You rock. Thank you very much.
Under a rock. I think that's what that was.
You rock is under a rock. I got it.
Yeah. And Olaf Van S. Olaf, thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you so much for moderating today. You have stepped in and helped D-Bud here, and D-Bud wasn't able to make it tonight because he's occupied. We really appreciate you, Olaf.
Absolutely, to everybody out there doing that. But Olaf, you've stepped in the last 2 weeks? I think you've been a wrench, and what an awesome job!
Olaf is always very friendly, like saying hi to everyone in the chat, being encouraging.
And and I'll tell you another thing that's amazing is we are currently tied, 43% for Mousegate, 43% for Mousetrap.
Come on, you guys, create your fake accounts and get in there and vote for Mousetrap.
That's right. Get on your alt accounts. Let's go.
That means that we need to come up with a better one if we're really not decided. I should actually read it. Great to see so many awesome friends on one panel. Thumbs up.
Thank you, Olaf.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And John Mayer, sorry.
Not John Mayer.
John Mayer became a YouTube member at the profound level. I'm sorry. That mistake makes me just want to go run through the halls of my high school. Liam John Smith for $5. This Monday was my first day as a transfer student, UIC, University of Illinois, Chicago honor student. Congratulations.
All right. Great.
Yeah, that is really
brag.
George
Talking
Lucas,
about milestones.
George Lucas is tied to UIC through evil.
Nice.
I'm not sure what EVL means. Is that something Louisville?
I saw it in the Minions section of Universal. It's definitely evil.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Evil.
And congratulations. That's awesome. And I see you've dressed for the occasion. Brandon for $5. We went in May, $1,100 for 4 days and 2 people.
Oh
Ouch.
my gosh. Ouch.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It used to be, and again, to add to that, because the ladies were both talking about it, it used to be you could go for an entire week to Disney, and it's not that long ago, for about $1,200. You could be there for 2 adults for an entire week, and you wouldn't even be staying at the value resorts. You'd be staying at the mid-level resorts, and now you can't do that. I mean, you could if you had DVC and an annual pass, but you've already spent tens of thousands of dollars to get to that point. And, still you're out, at least I always tell people plan at least $150 per person per day for just food now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. John Mayer. I'm going to make that mistake at least. I'm sorry, John Maynard.
And you get the amount right, though, Jonas. It's important as well.
Wait, what does it say, Pro?
Wait a minute. You changed it. How did you do that?
It actually says
it's
vote
two different super chats that are blank. John Maynard for $1.99 or John Maynard for $2.
John, if
thank
you
so
will,
much.
if you'll send us in a message and I guess tag Olaf or Jonas, we'll try to get that message back up on the screen because I bet you tried to send something to us and it just did not work. So you don't have to pay on any additional ones, okay? So don't pay us anymore, but just write down what that message you wanted us to get to read on the air, and we'll cover it, okay? Just a regular chat in the live chat.
My guess is he got iPhoned. So that's
could be.
Araxis, member for 4 months. Just got to say, a lot of really nice hair up there on the top row and beards.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry for
Hemorrhoid Hurts for $2.99 Australian. Hey, Susan, wife of Hemorrhoid, it's okay to super chat. Thank you very much, Susan, Hemorrhoid's wife. I appreciate that.
For some reason, I thought that Hemorrhoid's wife would be named Hernia, but I don't know why.
That's perfect. DJ Ronnie G for $5. Someone should open up an amusement park for turtles. I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Turtles.
I'm trying to think. Viacom has the turtles, right? Where would they be? Nickelodeon. Does Universal still have the turtles?
Yes, Nickelodeon still has the turtles, but I'll say this: I think we could all enjoy a good YouTube channel that just covered a park that was for turtles. We could just sit there in our cubicles and watch as happy little turtles ride very slow-moving thrill rides that still make them feel as if they are at lightning speeds.
Perfect. And Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Congrats on the various milestones. All can't wait for the TPP channel. All the best while I chug away at my work. Pro Smash Like. Thank you so much. And also, thank you for gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships. You're the man. We really appreciate it.
Extremely kind. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Tommy Tables for
who's that?
$6.99 Canadian. For Pro in the panel, what is your prediction and or hope for Ahsoka tonight, and why do you feel that particular way?
Let's start with culture. What are you thinking?
Well, for me, I predict disappointment, but I'm hoping I'm hoping it's subverted. I'm hoping they subvert my expectations and I get enjoyment out of this. I anticipate we're going to get the introduction, the introduction into the idea of why everything had to be reformed and why things had fallen apart the way it is. I think you're going to get a lot of backstory here. I think a lot of introductions will be done, and I do feel like we're going to get a lot of lightsaber combat, whether we want it or not.
That's right. All right. Anybody else want to give their take on Ahsoka and what you're expecting for this evening?
I'm a Rosario Dawson fan, so all I want to see is Rosario Dawson in the killer makeup because I'm a sucker for special effects makeup. But considering how Kenobi went over, I have very, very, very low expectations.
Michelle?
Okay, so I actually really enjoyed Star Wars Rebels. I watched all of it, thoroughly enjoyed it, it was really kind of like that Star Wars family type element, the way Star Wars does. But with Ahsoka, and I love the character of Ahsoka. I've loved Ahsoka since Clone Wars through Rebels, thoroughly love the character of Ahsoka. I think Rosario Dawson does a good job with her. Thought she was actually an excellent casting for a live action Ahsoka. So there's parts of it I would be surprised if this is as bad as Obi-Wan or even Book of Boba Fett. But you never know. I think where they're going to run into problems is when they pretty much cherry pick Heir to the Empire storylines, and then you're going to tick everyone off that was big fans of that book.
Right, because that involved the original trilogy characters, so they're probably not going to be there.
Yes, and as a Rebels fan, I do not like the idea of Sabine being like a Jedi in training because in no way was that established in 3 seasons of Rebels. So that just doesn't. I don't know why he went that way with that. So I'm mixed. I'm going to give it a fair shot, but I don't know.
My expectation is it's probably going to be uneven, but I don't think catastrophic. So we'll see.
I think that we're going to find out that lightsabers are basically wiffle bats, and that if you get hit with one of those, you can just walk it off. You know, you're going to be good.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and the 10,000 Jedi that were wiped out, only 1% survived. And by the way, it's the 1% that you are actually aware of and know and love. So, you know, it's just all the Jedi you've heard of that survived.
And see, this is what kind of annoys me about Ahsoka, and it does. As someone who I'm not going back and I'm watching Rebels, I haven't seen it before, but as someone who's only watched the movies, and she shows up, and I'm like, didn't y'all all get murked in Order 66?
Exactly. Everybody knows how to hide from the Emperor. Why is this guy threatening? All right. I could go on forever. Space Monkey 0899 for 199. Biblically accurate cherubim look heavy metal. Yeah, there's two of them on the top of the Ark of the Covenant, by the way. So those ones with the big wings that you probably don't want them messing with you. Yep.
And they were made of heavy metal.
Scott Westbrook for $5. Listening in the car. Congratulations on your success. Love this panel. Well, Scott, thank you. And thank you for keeping the eyes on the road. We want to make sure you're safe.
That's right. But we love the people on this panel too, and so excited to have them all together. This is like the All-Stars, although we're not trying to say that Valiant isn't an all-star, but
well, he's
not here, is he? So
that's right.
He's not here to defend himself.
That's right.
Do we just want to go around the panel, you know, before we do the next super chat? Does anyone want to say anything that they think that Valiant needs to change or fix about his content?
Oh, jeez, bless.
I mean, Ministry of Wrong Thing for $199. Every time the bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
I think Valiant just needs to wash his hat.
That hat is looking a little dingy.
See, I've wondered, does he have multiple of them though?
He does.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
He stains each one in the exact same place in the exact same way.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in Louisiana.
Just to
He's
throw
got
off the
more than
crowd.
one.
John Maynor said, it didn't go through on the computer. I don't care about Hollywood nor Disney failing. They lost touch when Sound of Freedom had gotten more than 10 times its earnings compared to the budget. Yeah. And the people who invested in the distribution of Sound of Freedom, the crowdfunders, they got their money back plus some interest there. So good for all the people who had that opportunity with Angel Studios. They seem to know what they're doing, and I bet there's a sequel on the way.
I think go ahead, Culture.
Oh no, I think that's just the tip of the iceberg for them. I mean, I'm going to keep using that same idiom, but I think that's it's just the beginning. I think we're going to expect great things from them in the future, and I think they will invest more in more independent creators. Maybe they aren't going to actually go out and produce the material themselves, but they're going to acquire the rights to distribute it and do what they did with this. I think that's just my speculation.
They've got a lot of content that I'm hearing good things about. They've got a kids series called Wing Feather, which the books are fantastic. So I'll be checking that out soon. And if anyone from Angel Studios is watching, send me some stuff. We would love to review it.
Now, speaking of that, Jonas, we're going to need to go to the next topic. But before we do, I think that that super chat was on point, because we also have been tracking that there's a huge feeling inside the general market that they just don't care about this Hollywood writer strike, actor strike. They don't care because they have plenty of content to fall back on. And Jonas, you and I have spoken with a very significant source who we will have to keep anonymous.
Oh my goodness. That's all I have to say.
Given us some major information that we hope to bring out Thursday morning. We backed it up a little bit to Thursday morning. We're going to be going over the Disney DEI expose part 4 tomorrow. But Thursday morning, we're going to be talking about what this source gave us. Jonas, can you give us just not even a preview, but just a feeling of where this is going? And by the way, anyone on this panel who wants to join us to chat about that, we'll be recording that tomorrow, I'm sure. Jonas, what is it we're about to do with Pandora's box?
We're about to point out an incredible deficit in the negotiating power of the WGA that is, for some reason, not making headlines. I do not understand. This person reached out and pointed out 2 simple facts, and they...
With proof.
Yes, absolutely. That the WGA does not have what it takes to finish this job because and that's where I'll stop, because anything short of that would just be telling exactly what it is.
Jonas,
So,
is it fair to say that the rank and file are being led like lambs to slaughter?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to be the kind of person that ruins everything, but I do think they're being led astray.
Yeah, I mean, and again, folks, Thursday morning, we're breaking this wide open when it comes to the Hollywood strike, what's really going on, and get ready for that one.
Well, like my thoughts are, when are some of the actors that have some level of influence going to be like, it's kind of step into the room and be like, something's got to get finished. Like we need to get something done here.
Yeah, we've got two things going on. Of course, there's the WGA strike that's separate from the actor strike, and the WGA strike is soaking up all of the oxygen in the room, and all the complaints are being generated by the actors. So it's this weird symbiotic relationship of whose fault is it? Because when the actors say, hey, we want to promote our stuff, they get crucified in the press. But the WGA strike is probably going to be the more essential one to get done before they can do anything else. And this is just a gut feeling here. Wouldn't it be great if they had about 3 months of writing that they could do before anyone can say anything, any acting can be done? If they just had this moment where, no, just go ahead and make that polish, do some writing, fix it up, do it well, and then they'll start talking.
Well, and are we really supposed to believe that no one is writing during this time? Like, I mean, are there like writing Nazis that come in and make sure the writers are not working on something at this moment? I mean, why wouldn't they take this time to write stuff? I don't know.
Well, there's I think it's all spec work at this point. I don't think they're allowed to do stuff that they already have under contract. But of course, Script Doctor would be the resource I would go to on that. But I think right now, all of those, I've seen a lot of tweets saying, oh yeah, that spec script you promised yourself you'd get done before the end of the strike, you don't have a lot of time left on that. I'm also hearing some crazy rumors about who is negotiating on behalf of them right now. And we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, my only thing, and I know I've said this on one of WD's videos, my only thing that I care about in this, I think all of us don't really care about what they're arguing over. The only thing I do care about is, again, theaters took such a massive hit in 2020 and 2021. They just now are beginning to kind of get back their legs back under them. And if they don't have any content to release at the end of 2024, it's going to be ugly for AMC and these and even the small chains too of theaters. And I just think that's bad for our society. I do. And even though I know there's been a lot of crap content, there's also good content like Sound of Freedom and things that come out in theaters as well. And we as a society have lost so much because of online stuff, so much of our just kind of socialization that I think if we lose the theater, that's going to be really bad. I truly do believe that.
I fully agree. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, it's a cultural, it's a part of our cultural experience, and it brings us together. It gets us out of our homes in isolation. So I am fully on board with you. It's an experience, and that experience should continue. Now, talking about the writer's strike and talking about experiences and movies, let's get to our next topic. We are talking about the situation we have where it looks like now that Gambit, the X-Man, may be joining Deadpool 3. This is something that I have been sitting on for a little bit because I didn't think it was true. And it's kind of been circulating out there in the rumor mills for about a month. I talked to someone that I think has a pretty good handle on this about whether or not this one is true. And the answer was, well, interesting. The answer I got back was it wasn't true before the strike, but it's getting more true. And I said, well, what, I think I can figure out what that means. I think I get the insinuation. But here's the article, and we'll read this. Deadpool 3 rumor teases Channing Tatum with comic-accurate Gambit suit by Anthony Singletary. This one all the way back from August 14th. But again, I've been waiting for an answer and got that answer. And it's kind of a non-answer, but at the same time, it is an answer, right? It wasn't true before the strike, but it's getting more true. Okay. Here's what it says. Fans have been celebrating Hugh Jackman's return in Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool 3 with a brand new costume. However, it seems as though Channing Tatum will be joining him and donning a comic-accurate suit as Gambit. Tatum's Gambit film was one of the many tragedies of Fox's X-Men era. Despite the actor having pushed for the film nearly as much as Ryan Reynolds did for Deadpool, the film was left on the cutting room floor after Disney's purchase of the studio. However, it seems as though Reynolds is set to revive Tatum's Gambit, just as he's doing with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. With Insider, can we get some toast? Teasing a comic-accurate costume. While Tatum isn't many people's first choice to play Gambit, Deadpool 3 is setting the stage for a true celebration of Fox's X-Men legacy, bringing back big stars like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, as well as big flops like Jennifer Garner's Elektra. So, there you go. Didn't see this one coming until, recently, because again, I thought this wasn't actually real. But let's go to the panel and get your thoughts on, does this even matter? Do you think audiences even care anymore? Is Channing Tatum the kind of name that could generate some enthusiasm for this? Or is this a big meh burger?
I think having watched Free Guy and having Ryan Reynolds and Channing Tatum in a movie together, now you're seeing this. It's not like a major surprise because Ryan Reynolds kind of has his friends and he kind of plays in that box. So not a huge surprise. But it was actually one of those movies that I was excited about back when it was first rumored, because at that time, Channing Tatum, he was starting to kind of blossom. And I'm kind of like interested. I won't be watching Deadpool because it tends to be out of the content that I watch. But at the same time, I'll be happy to see it in a trailer.
I don't think that's going to make anyone more excited or less excited for Deadpool 3. I think the people excited for Deadpool 3 are already there with Hugh Jackman coming back and Ryan Reynolds, and just the fact that Deadpool is a very fun character. I don't know anything about this comic character. I do think I can totally see him. Like he said, he was in Free Guy, and I thought he was pretty funny in it in his small role. So I can see him in a Deadpool type movie because I think Channing Tatum is actually pretty good at comedy. He was also in that movie. What was it with
Lost City?
Yes, Lost City with Sandra Bullock, and I thought he did good there. Like he really may be kind of like a Rob Lowe that needs to kind of transition from just the hunk to doing comedy. I think he might actually help his career that way. So I can see him being in this and it being pretty humorous, at least. It may not be a good depiction, but being funny.
So Culture, it looks to me like, and then we'll get Lorena in, but Culture, it looks to me like Marvel is making every decision that I would have made in 2019 or 2020 if I were Marvel wanting to keep my fans. Can they bring them back with good decisions that are 3 years too late?
I don't think so. In the trend in Hollywood, it's always and often said, and quite accurately, the trends go to Hollywood to die. And I think in this case, this probably has already happened. You can bring in Channing Tatum, and as the chat suggests, he can magic mic it up. I'm sure. But you can have him in Deadpool 3. You can have him in this world. And as much as I'd like to see him as Gambit, I think it's a little too. I think it's too little, too late. That's probably the best way to say it, Pro. And I don't know if I'm going to be on the island alone there, but
Lorena, you feel the same?
How can I put this? Besides, when I heard about this, I'm like, oh great, Magic Mike is going to be Gambit. That's like literally the first thing that I thought of. I love Gambit. I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3, but considering what's been happening with the Marvel movies of late, Deadpool 3 is going to have to knock it out of the park. So I'm kind of like a wait and see, but exclusive of the comedy timing that Channing Tatum has, he has to be able to accurately bring that Cajun accent. If he does not, it's not Gambit.
It's over.
It's over.
So this is, I'm sorry, I was doing producerly things in the background. So I don't know if this was stated that there was a Gambit film in the works with Channing Tatum for a very long time. And he kept having to answer questions about it for years. This was one of the big Fox properties that was on the back burner. And he was pushing really hard to try to get this movie made. There was a big struggle at Fox. And I think that's what this joke is about. It's all of these old Fox properties and things that this is Ryan Reynolds making a meta joke about the state of the industry, I think. That being said, Channing Tatum does have the chops to act and also be funny. That being said, he's a bit of a meathead, but he's also a really good writer. Sorry, let me restate that. He knows that his persona is a bit of a meathead. The guy's easily underestimated, super talented. But Gambit is one of the biggest draws of the X-Men animated series that they're going to bring back, and they're going to ruin it. If you've got Gambit and you don't have Rogue, you're kind of missing an essential part.
That's a good point. That's like Romeo and Juliet, but no Juliet. So I don't know how that works if you just send Romeo with a gang of dudes to go have some fun in a metaverse. I don't know, how this plays out.
But it's okay. We haven't had Rogue inside the X-Men universe really anyway.
I mean, come on. It's like,
and they'll have to recast Rogue.
You get this guy who is like this, ladies' man, and you get this woman who is this, bombshell Southern miss. But if she touches anyone, she's going to kill him, whether or not she wants to. That is a great pairing. This guy who obviously has this thing for just this one. I mean, I could go on about how perfect the irony, the dramatic irony of that pairing. And it doesn't need to start in a Deadpool movie. I'll say that. So if they're doing a gag, that's great. If they're trying to do Rogue and Gambit,
You see a lot of jokes about the fact that Gambit can't touch his girlfriend out of Deadpool.
Oh, that would actually be hilarious. But they would also be doing they would pre-Marvel it there, where Marvel doesn't understand the difference between a joke and just deflating their own dramatic momentum. So
I bet all these characters, if I'm guessing, it's kind of used for a humorous purpose and not super long. Just like in Deadpool 2 when he did X-Force, and it was very funny, but it wasn't very long, is what I'm saying. Like he kind of did it, but not really.
Now the one exception to this is that I'm thinking they have promoted Hugh Jackman enough that it's kind of an expectation going in that Hugh Jackman's going to be there.
Oh,
Hugh Jackman is in for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
But also, and don't forget this, I don't know that we're going to get Channing Tatum coming back to play Gambit over and over, but we are getting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine over and over. It's a multi-movie deal that's finally been confirmed, and we've had it confirmed now that he will be playing Wolverine in Secret War. And we think that it's extremely likely that he is being paired with Spider-Man for a Wolverine Spider-Man Avengers movie. Folks, I think what we're seeing here is I think that Marvel, whether it's at the behest of Kevin Feige or at the behest of Bob Iger, Marvel is throwing all of their A-tier characters. They are getting rid of the mantle strategy. They're going with all of their A-tier characters, throw everything at it that they can. They don't have Iron Man because RDJ's not coming back. But they can throw everything they have at this. And I think that's the strategy because they have seen their audience cut in half or worse, and that can't continue and them remain in the position that they were for at least the last two phases, phase 2 and 3, that were good.
Well, because Spider-Man No Way Home showed them that they can cash in on the nostalgia, and now they're just going to keep spamming that nostalgia button until they run out of money again.
Well said.
Do you guys think there's any chance that Ryan Reynolds, that he's going to use his Deadpool movie to almost kind of poke fun of the multiverse?
Please.
Like, I feel like that's what you're getting. I think that's what you're getting. That's how you get all these characters.
I hope he does, because the Deadpool movies, they don't pull any punches when they want to clown.
I hope he makes fun of She-Hulk.
Yes, please let him twerk in a way that mocks that terrible scene.
Michelle, I don't know that you could expect him to do that. In fact, I guarantee he will do that. I think he'll. Yeah. I'm actually looking. I'm actually looking forward to. Deadpool. It's the only Marvel film I think I can say I'm looking forward to. Everything else, it's lost its appeal entirely. Maybe Gambit appears in the film, maybe he doesn't. I don't really care. I get to see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine again, and I think that's a win for all of us. And I get to see Ryan Reynolds be Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Can I complain about something for 3 seconds, X-Men related?
I've never timed you, but go for it.
At the end of it wasn't Dark Phoenix. It was the one of the after the day after tomorrow, whatever the time travel was, right? So like with
After Days of Future Past.
Yeah, so
it was.
I think it
what
was
that
the
one?
end of the second last one. They all had their comic accurate outfits.
Yeah.
And that was epic. And then they came back with Dark Phoenix or whatever.
don't
and they
mention
went
that.
back
Don't
to
mention
no
that movie.
generic stupid stuff. And I'm like, come on. I got so mad because my wife and I, we just watched through all of them recently. And so I just got like really mad all over again. And I was just like,
That's what they need. More black leather suits that no one can move around. in.
Yeah.
That's what they need.
Yeah.
God, it was
I thought we were going to get a Wilton smash moment right then.
Yeah.
I just saw it coming. I could feel it. I could feel your inner Wilton being released.
Oh, my inner Wilton would be more like, that was epic. That was the best thing ever, man. So.
Well, Jonas, speaking about releasing the best thing ever, let's get to some super chats. And folks, we are going to be ending. We've got a hard stop at 7 p.m. Eastern time today because we have to get ready for the Ahsoka debut to happen. Lauren Connor and I are going to watch through that. And then at 11 p.m. Eastern time, member exclusive for August, the August member exclusive stream will be Lauren Connor and myself giving our immediate review following our watching of the 2 episodes. And Lauren was none too pleased that he had to get back on Disney Plus. We're not going to tell you how we managed to make that happen, but let's just say that Lauren continues to be in protest of Disney and what they have done to Star Wars, and he is vehement about maintaining his protest of Disney and what they have done to Star Wars.
I'll just point out the X-Men movie that we completely forgot was X-Men Apocalypse.
Yes, I didn't even see that one.
Well,
oh man,
one of the best villains in Marvel done at the worst possible.
Oh man,
yeah.
And if you want a great example of Apocalypse, read the comics first of all.
Yes.
But the X-Men animated 90s series did a great job with him. Thanks to
Yes.
all. Sorry, KB, member for 2 months. Thanks to all of you for your insight.
Well, you're very welcome. It's what we enjoy doing, and it's what it brings us back on here to do it over and over again because we think entertainment matters. We all love it. We all focus on it. People are sitting at work waiting for that moment when they get to go home and catch the latest show, or they get to go on that next vacation and go to do the thing they love. So we're trying to give insight into why that is and what it is.
Awesome. Space Dave 2000 for $5 Canadian. We went in February this year, 10K Canadian for 8 days plus flights, tickets, just one park per day. Value resort, food and tickets were highest cost. Not surprised
the
that
food's
food
out of
was
control.
Expensive. Yeah, the food is nuts because they know they've got you.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, the fact that they have the gall to make you plan 180 days in advance to go to your favorite restaurant is just ridiculous.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. They fix one problem and they create another. Michelle C for $10. Hey, Michelle. Thank you very much for the very generous super chat. Congrats, everyone. I have you on in the background since I'm still working. Hoping I will be done before you come on to tell me how good or bad Ahsoka is. Congrats again. You are my TV. Well, if you're working and you're giving a massage right now, just tell your clients to relax and try to let that tension out.
That's right. And if
know
Ahsoka,
that Star Wars is dead.
Yay! Said someone who's getting that massage right now.
It's not that dead. It might be okay. Right before that explosion in Thor Ragnarok. Dave Van Horn. Yep. Became a YouTube member. Oh, I missed it. Let me look over here at the potential level. Thank you very much for joining us, Dave Van Horn. There's coffee right over there.
Welcome aboard.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for $10. Thank you very much for the generous super chat. This is probably the best time to tell you guys. Thank you. Finding Pro and you guys was a rare case of the algorithm doing its job. Hey, that's great. It's great to see coverage of media from such wholesome people.
Well,
and
we
floral.
try, and we think that's yes, and floral. We think it's to the benefit of all. I mean, what good does it do for us to cover entertainment and for us to use language, let's say, that makes it where you can't have your kids in the car? That just prohibits you from getting to listen to what we have to say, and so. We fully recognize that there's a place for that. We recognize that there are channels out there that give sort of that blue level of comedy when they're covering entertainment. We love some of their stuff. We just recognized that there was a space that needed to be filled where we came on and we gave you what we hope is, high caliber information about what's going on in entertainment. And we do it in a way that you don't have to be worried about what's going to happen next, until Slade Wilson appears.
I was going to say, I wonder if Slade's in the chat today.
Beeve is out there right now like, just hold my beer. Just wait.
Thank you very much, Ministry of Wrong Think. You're the best. Irate Specialist for $1.99. We need to get Valiant a Park Place dad hat. Ooh.
I like that idea.
Hey, we can make that happen. And folks, guess what? We are about to send that item that members of the channel voted that we purchase for Mexican Iron Man. So that's right. Just like when a certain creature crashed into Willie's garage. That's what I have envisioned for Mike coming soon.
I'm just picturing a burn stream. That's what I'm picturing.
The Iranian Putin for $2.
Yes.
Magic Gate.
Magic Gate is good name. Iranian Putin. He's also, I think, the name for your Friday nights.
Thank you very much for the super chat. The stuttering guitarist. Oh, sorry, not the. I added a definitive article there. Stuttering guitarist for $5. The shame of all of this with Gambit is that the studios know what people want and refuse to give it to them. Personal thought. I think
it's a great point.
Yeah.
Can I just really quickly say,
I've never timed you, but go ahead.
There's 617 people in the chat,
Nice.
and only 524 votes, 25 votes in the Disney
poll.
World poll. Vote Mousetrap, the remaining of you.
Even worse.
Come
we have
on.
525
You guys could
votes.
change this. You could change the tide of history with one click.
I
The
still
tides of
haven't voted.
emoji.
Michelle,
Oh,
you
no.
know what
Come
you
on,
need
Michelle.
to
Gotta vote.
Michelle.
It's been a hard decision. I've been
That's
sitting there
not a hard
staring at it.
decision. Come on.
Listen to the sound of my voice. You know that you want to click Mousetrap.
And folks, the real tragedy here is 531 votes on this poll, only 389 likes. Come on, folks, let's get those likes up there. We need to have at
Folks,
least
listen to the
450
sound of my
likes.
voice. You know what you need to do.
Come on, and then you can have like
Click the like button right now.
Hit the like button.
We have two gorgeous ladies on this panel. We should be hitting the like twice. I mean, come on.
Yeah, hit
No, hit it thrice.
Do
Don't hit it twice. Hit it thrice.
Three times. Yeah. Wow, my broken finger was not working. All right.
And thank you for your personal thoughts, stuttering guitarist. Appreciate it. Brandon for $10. Thank you, Brandon. Does Marvel think Deadpool will turn out like Endgame? The amount of cameos in Deadpool turned me off because there's nothing leading up to this, just throwing a bunch of old characters into bait. Well, I think that they see that Deadpool was one of the few rated R comedies to really hit it big. And it's one of the only things they have left. So whatever Ryan Reynolds is asking for right now, they're probably inclined to say yes. And that man probably has a lot of ideas on how to make that movie as big as possible.
The question
Anybody
I
else?
think too is going to be, how far do they push the rating? Like, how far do they go? Is this a deep into R territory? Is it at the far end of PG-13? It's going to be interesting to see what they do under the Disney banner.
You know, they already kind of tested the water with that because they put out around Christmas time. They did that Christmas special of Deadpool 2 where they made it PG-13.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Oh.
Yep, and they made it with Fred Savage. But
Yeah.
I don't think it did very well. That's the
No,
that's
it
the
did
question.
not.
No, I
Like
don't.
that's something I could actually watch.
I
Well,
didn't
yes.
mind it.
I didn't even watch it. I mean, I'm kind of like with Blade, like they're trying to make Blade PG-13. You cannot make Blade a PG-13.
Oh
movie.
no.
You can't make Deadpool a PG-13. It doesn't work.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if they do Blade right now, they are probably not going to make it into a film that echoes the blaxploitation films of the 70s like they need to. Like Blade
that's
was
gonna
like
suck
superhero
if they don't
vampire
do that.
Shaft, and
Yep.
it was awesome for that. I don't think they have the guts to do anything like that anymore.
Instead, we'll get a Blade that feels like Mortal Kombat without fatalities.
Yeah.
I mean, is Blade even happening? I don't know that I don't know that would
It
go.
is. It is, unfortunately.
And
Yeah.
then we went over on Toxic Film, we were going over the age gap between Wesley Snipes and the new guy, and it's not that big. Like
Yeah, he's
Wesley
just new.
Snipes.
That's all. Yeah, and I mean that guy, he's talented. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Mahershala Ali.
Sarah Ali. Yeah.
There's a philosopher, a Muslim philosopher that has a similar name. It's a lady. So I didn't want to say the other name because I couldn't remember which one was in my head. So, but he's talented. He played Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage series, which, if anyone believes that's MCU canon, I've got a bridge to sell you. But if he brings that kind of acting talent to play Blade, man, it could be pretty cool. But I really like Wesley Snipes.
But it's the script though, and the script is just Michelle wasn't really too happy with the script. So,
well, Brandon, I hope that you got your $10 worth there. Riley Wellborn or Wellburn, either way, you have a really cool name. For $5, if current news comes true and restrictions begin to roll out again, what are your predictions? Will Disney and the parks follow suit?
So here's what I think on this. I think Disneyland would follow suit. I think that Florida would itself I think the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District would pass regulations that would prohibit Disney World from enacting those kinds of mandates. I think, listen, we are headed for turmoil. How's that as a society in the next year? I think I don't see any way out of this. Surely, though, please listen to me, politicians. Please listen to me, those of you who attempt to run our society against the will of the people. Please do not try another one of these. This is going to exacerbate the major issues. And I'll tell you this. So I live in a place where I was more free than other places for the last many years, and I had a different life experience than other Americans. So that's weird already. Let's not do that again where half the country is living under one set of rules and half is living under the other, and yet there is no discernible outcome difference.
Let's talk about this from a business standpoint, though, because I put forward this question on Twitter, and I said, what if Bob Iger says, okay, for all his virtue signaling, okay, now he's got this thing that he can blame, low numbers, people not wanting to show up to theme parks. He's got his excuse. Or he could get some street cred back. I hadn't thought about the fact that Sif Todd could jump in there and say, no, you can't do this. So he would be doing them such a favor if they made it to where there were no restrictions, because then the parks will continue to be this spot where people will continue to go, and the people who are retreating from these less free areas, they want to get away and they want to take their vacation and they want to get away from lockdowns. And he gets to Bob Iger would get to complain about it till the cows come home and
while
look like a great
making tons of money.
Yes, while appeasing his political side of the aisle that he pretends that he's not a part of. That would be the biggest favor that they could hand him, to go ahead and say, no, we're going to remove this decision from your hands and you will have to live with what we say.
You know
good
what,
for him
Jordan?
if they do it for him.
Your freedom.
Control is back.
Yeah,
control is back, and he somehow
all my adoring fans who love and appreciate me.
Well, and at some point as a society, we have to understand that each fall and winter, there is this thing called the cold, and it does mutate, and there's different strands, and it comes back every freaking year. So at some point, you just got to accept it.
No, we have to live in a zero-risk society. We have to wrap ourselves in bubble wrap, and we have to, even inside our own vehicles, we have to stuff a dirty sock in our mouth so that we are being safe. Shove Elmer's glue up our nose. No germ shall pass through our nostrils.
Well, that's
even here in the South, we have what's known as, used to be back in the day, yellow fever season. As soon as it gets hot down here,
I thought you were going to say rabies.
But it's true. I just want to add something to what Jonas was saying, and just to stick in the business corner. Not only would they be handing Iger a win, I think that what they should do is nothing. Let's see what Disney does. put Disney in that position. They can't afford to have Disney World go dark. Cannot.
No. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Culture, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
Disney World is finally back to the way that it used to be, with out-of-state visitors and, most importantly, international visitors. You know, things are back to normal when you're seeing the Brazilian tour groups coming back and the Brits are back. To have that shut down again, that's a lot of money Disney's going to be missing, and it's not gonna work. That would
Now, all of
not
that
be
said,
smart.
let's do the disclaimer, folks. We are not here to give you medical advice. Go seek out your own medical advisor, wherever that person might be, someone who's trusted, who has degrees, and whom you think can diagnose and help you live through this life in your most healthy way. If you don't trust your doctor, then what are you doing with that doctor? Get a new one. There's the
But
disclaimer.
if you are following
there
this
you go.
channel, you are getting some great financial advice.
No.
So
No, no,
follow
no,
the
no, no, no,
disclaimers,
no, no,
follow
no,
the
no.
things they talk about, and make decisions based off of educated people.
I buy all of my cars at police auction. Sorry, 1 second. I was making a joke while I was doing the producer thing here. Marco Esquandoles for $5. I'm tired of this Hollywood Disney bull. They are losing me. You and me both.
Welcome aboard. I think we're there.
Yep.
I think that's in New York, right?
Hey, it's Michelle C. For $5. Thank you so much for the second super chat. I also teach philosophy and religion at the community college here in town, so I am building blackboards and syllabi. Oh, cool.
Teach philosophy
Disney.
and religion. Is that a combined class, or are you teaching two classes, Michelle?
Well,
that is fascinating.
Well, I need to head to wherever she is because I need a refresher.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
It's called the Bible culture.
Wait a minute, Wilton. I thought you were part of the Jains now. That you're not causing any harm to any creature on the planet. Is that not? You're not part of Jainism.
What?
Yeah, you're Wilton the troll, right? You don't cause harm to anyone.
Yes. I harm everyone.
Oh, opposite. Gotcha.
I try to go right for
Understand.
the throat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, I know what religion that is. We can't call that one out. Keep going, Jonas.
Aha, William Sleeper for $4.99. WDW, Wolvie, Deadpool, Gambit. Can we really trust Disney on such male-centric heroes project?
Listen, until we get Psylocke in the original costume, things are just not right over at Disney.
I thought we got to see that.
I thought we got Olivia Munn pretty close to the comics accurate costume there, didn't we?
You
it
never
was just
know.
in a huh.
You can attempt it again, I'm sure.
Attempt it again.
I think I feel what you're doing there.
All right, so hold on. I need to make sure everything's loaded up for this next person here because we have a lot of thanks to give them. Jillian N became a member at the potential level.
Hey, Jillian.
Welcome aboard.
And gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships.
She is awesome. She's one of my
claim it.
members.
Wow.
She's so cool.
Oh, that's really, really cool. And thank
Very
you so
cool.
much for coming aboard and becoming a member. That really means a lot to us. And the
Yeah,
fact
and
that
since,
you've given it to so many other people. That's awesome.
Yeah. Since Jillian is doing that, I'll go ahead and say yesterday for members of the channel, we uploaded a video. It's the exclusive for members video where I go over my recipe for ghost pepper dip. It's sort of the base. You can take it in any kind of direction you want. So check that out.
The
and then
first ingredient
tomorrow
is murder.
Yes. And then tomorrow we will have another member spotlight video where Tommy Tables is interviewing the web designer behind that park place. So very exciting there.
I love Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike.
All right. That is, I think we could put the super chats away for now.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to our final topic. Folks, before we do, though, let's just remind all of you that Park Place, the YouTube channel, is now available. Please go get subscribed. We are going to be launching That Park Place in September. Jonas is actually going to be the one who is running this thing. It is going to combine together the efforts of many of your That Park Place network channels out there, so many of our friends, where we're going to be promoting them. We're also going to be explaining the news. Everything that should be fun is the news of That Park Place. It's going to be integrated into the website. So this is our attempt to revolutionize the way that we do entertainment journalism. You do not want to miss out on it. And don't forget, too, that you can also check out That Park Place on Twitter/X. It's at TPP News Network, the only network that starts with TP and ends with PP. So there you go.
And
All
remember,
right, well,
kids,
let's get...
Hey,
every minute
I
you
wanna ask-
don't subscribe, God kill the kitten.
Oh gosh. I want to ask for their purposes. I just Googled That Park Place and all I got was WDW Pro, and I'm not seeing
All one word. All one word in YouTube. That Park Place.
Let me see
Oh.
if I can put this in the chat here.
Because I did it 3 different words.
Yes, all one word. That Park Place. And your mom will reject you at Christmas if you don't
Actually,
subscribe.
if you're already on the channel page for WDW Pro, you can go down towards the bottom and it says featured channels, and one of them is That Park Place.
And if you go to thatparkplace.com, it'll go to nothing because there's nothing linked yet.
I noticed that I'm not on the featured channels. The
Actually, Jonas, you are. You have to scroll to the right, and you'll find you are one of the
you're
featured
there.
channels.
Oh,
Is this it?
I made it.
It's the old logo though.
No, it should be it should look like the new logo. So Jonas will get the link in the
Yeah, we need to
private
get
chat
that
as
link.
well as the regular chat. And then mods,
There.
if you could put that into the chat out there so people can find it.
And I just need to point out a travesty here. Mouse Gate is beating Mouse Trap. I guess we're going to go with another gate over and over again. Richard
Wilton
Nixon
has 200
ruined the naming of scandals forever, didn't he?
Wilton has 200 alt accounts, so just take that into
That's true. I think Mousetrap is a stupid idea.
All right, well, something that some people think is a stupid idea, but others do not, is going to be Ahsoka. And this out of the Hollywood Reporter, we have our final topic for the show today. Daniel Feinberg is the author behind this. Ahsoka Review, Disney Plus's fluffy new Star Wars series starring Rosario Dawson is the anti-Andor. The actress is joined by Natasha Liu Bordizzo, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and the late Ray Stevenson in a show about the titular former Jedi. Here's what they have to say. We'll read 2 paragraphs, I suppose. We don't want to give away anything, but here's the 2 paragraphs we've got. In Disney Plus's Ahsoka, hulking vessels zip around space and dock and land on alien planets with an odd weightlessness. Well, if they're in space, it's not odd. Planets, maybe. As if one could park on your foot and you'd never notice. Does this suggest an unfortunate limitation in the show's special effects budget? A conscious effort to mimic the aesthetic of the series' animated roots? An unconscious extended metaphor for a show that, at least through 2 of its 8 episodes, too often suffers from a lack of dramatic gravity. That's not to say that Ahsoka is entirely without emotional heft, but most of that investment depends on familiarity with its predecessor, Star Wars Rebels, which aired from 2014 to 18. Viewers who haven't watched Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars or any of the stories featuring Ahsoka Tano before she first appeared in live-action form, played by Rosario Dawson in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, won't be confused. Series creator Dave Filoni has, especially in the premiere, piled on enough exposition to satisfy anybody with vague curiosity. So it goes on to essentially say that this is a show that feels a little bit airy. The stakes are not so high, and out of the first 2 episodes, maybe that's okay. But if this doesn't start taking us somewhere, we are in a situation, I think, where we're just spinning our wheels. And this Mandoverse is coming to an end at some point, rather soon, one would suspect. It doesn't feel like we're going towards anything. It just feels like we're bumbling about. So, folks on the panel, thoughts on the fact that we're getting mediocre reviews out of the gate before this thing even hits Disney Plus in T-minus 2.5 hours?
There was an odd complaint about Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a scene where Darth Vader pulls back on a Star Destroyer. And the complaint there was that the special effects made it seem as if the not a Star Destroyer, whatever the transport was, had no weight at all. And so it's funny to hear that they haven't solved that issue in this series either. What's up with that?
Well, physics aside, I don't know, but I'll just say this. I'll jump out there on this limb. Unfortunately, Disney has a history with whatever they've produced on their streaming platform to deliver only 1 or 2 quality episodes at the beginning, and then at the end they might bring something with some gravitas.
That's a great point. You get first 2 pop, a last one is decent, and everything in between is just
crap.
garbage.
Yeah, and
what a great point.
Yeah, and so the reason that this should draw a lot of concern from anybody who wanted to jump into this, feet first, if you're starting out mediocre, what is your expectation for the rest of it?
Yeah.
I would be very, very worried. And and again, I mean, are we ready for an all-female good guy team? Because I think
absolutely, we haven't done that yet. Gosh, culture, you bigot.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this. It's like, I think people are ready if it's written the right way. And I don't trust this group of people currently to write this the right way. And I'll also say this. If these 2 episodes are not good enough, people are really going to drop out quick.
What's the impact on Dave Filoni? How much pressure is there? Because for so long people treated him, I guess, especially around the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, they treated Dave Filoni as someone who was there to redeem Star Wars, someone who was there to bring it back with Jon Favreau. That has completely changed in the public's perception. What happens if this show by Dave Filoni is not good?
Oh, he's going to take a hit.
You think?
But how big of a hit? Like, do we go to the point where people say, I don't care anymore about anything Mandoverse, I'm done?
Well, there's always going to be the select group of we're mostly comprised of Raylos that are going to like it, and that's fine. That's up to them if they want to like it, but that's a small percent.
Can we call them Phil Bronies?
Help me here, because apparently I missed this. I got accused of being a Raylo one time, and I have no idea what that means. What is a Raylo?
Like
Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
You shipped the relationship of Rey and Kylo Ren, the Raylos, and the Raylos pretty much love everything Disney.
Oh no, I was definitely not that. It was about the time that I said I like 50% of the sequel trilogy.
You got called a Raylo.
Yeah, I like 27% of it.
Well,
I think I like 3.
I like maybe 4.5,
Well, and I was going to say too, I will say Andor, it started off so slow. Lorena, I remember you even had a comment that made me laugh. Like something like if it was any slower, it would go back and back.
Yes, it would go back in time. Yeah.
But it was, I think it ended actually interesting. I'd given up on it. People told me to go back, and it was decent. But even that still points to a problem. And I've talked about this on WDW's channel. Disney doesn't know how to write a streaming show. Yep. And if they fail here, it's a done deal. Like, they do not know how to do streaming. And if there's any writers that happen to be listening, I just recommend go sit down and watch all 4 seasons of Stranger Things. Watch the first season of Wednesday and see how a show is written for streaming formats. Because, Stranger Things season 4 was a 13-hour movie that we got, basically. And yet Disney can't seem to write 8 episodes at 35 minutes a pop. And
Disney, wake up. I don't like this. Disney, wake up.
Exactly.
but in this, you keep making great points, and this is why you're doing so well, Michelle. But isn't it odd that Disney, which also owns ABC, which is a television studio, and they've written television programs for decades. They've been around a long time. Capital Cities they were around for a long time, and yet they can't do it for streaming. You just don't make commercials. You don't worry about those break segments. You don't worry about the callbacks anymore. You don't have to worry about that scene to scene, right? It's astounding to me that they don't know how to write that. But it also suggests to me maybe they don't know how to write television anymore. Maybe they got rid of all their television writers. I haven't watched anything on ABC. What's the most popular thing there? Dancing with the ancient people? I mean, what is it? What's that thing over there?
I just like to point out that they, in fact, own 2 television studios at this point, and they're still in this spot. So the best things on Disney Plus, the absolute pinnacle of content on Disney Plus right now, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm going to qualify this because obviously the answer is Bluey. I'm gonna kick the dog over to the curb here and say, Imagineering Story.
Yes.
Behind the Attraction. Two things that Disney probably didn't have much control over. One is Leslie Iwerks, daughter of Iwerks.
Yeah.
And Behind the Attraction, which was produced by The Rock in with Brian Volkweiss, which if anyone out there knows how to get him in touch with us, please do us that favor. The thing that Disney does best is park history and the stuff that is actually core Disney, and anything where they're trying to cultivate something out of Star Wars or Marvel. They just do such a poor job. They do not understand how to do scripted premium television, and they waste so much money. It's like $200 million a minimum a pop when they need to just make 3 weeks out of it. Just drop it all at once if that's what you're going to do. Netflix does it. Stop making these things 10 episode series and make them 3 if that's all you've got. If you've only got 3 episodes worth of content, only make it 3 episodes.
And just
Well,
to add to what you were
we've got
saying,
2 super
Jonas.
chats real quick.
Oh, sorry. go
Irate
ahead.
Specialist says vote Mousegate. So we've got people trying to get this thing done at the very end. We've also got Brandon for $1.99 saying I second that, vote Mousegate. So there you go, folks. We've got more efforts to
There
get
is
that in.
another big one that just popped in too.
Yeah.
No comment.
Kiss my grits. My goodness.
My goodness, Kiss
I
my grits.
think you wanted to read that super chat the way you read Kiss My Grits.
Oh. Should I
All
read
right,
the
well
super
let's go ahead and read it. I don't know. Jonas maybe is muted and doesn't know it. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. My Kiss My Grits member for. Sorry, I had to mute because I've got kids in the background. Kiss My Grits for $50. Stranger Things season 1 had a budget of $6 million an episode, and season 2 only increased to $8 million an episode. It took until season 4 for Netflix to give them Lucasfilm level budgets, $30 million an episode. Still, yikes! Wow. Even though Stranger Things proved to be a blockbuster success and revenue driver after season 1, you are 100% correct. Kiss My Grits.
Turn around. Stop giving money to Disney.
But what did they have? They had the Duffer Brothers that had vision and passion for what they wanted to do with good writing. There were a lot of nobodies at the time besides Winona Ryder who were cast, but they were cast well. It was kind of what Star Wars used to be. With the original trilogy, it was. So Disney
Smacking talk about Samwife?
What'd you say?
You talking smack about Samwife? Because he died in season 2.
What? No. Well, I think she was talking about season 1. He wasn't in season 1.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? He was there. You just didn't see him.
Well, that's actually a really
yeah,
good point.
he got so 8 in season 2.
Is that the first time that Wilton has had an on-point that was totally not actually just a troll? Wilton, you're growing.
Yeah, he is. But to be fair, I would say that actually the kids were unknowns, but the adults were known. I mean, you had Matthew Modine, you had, as you mentioned, Winona Ryder. I think
That's
you're
true.
and then David Harbour was a known quantity as well, as far as I know. But I think you're right. I think the kids make that show. They got paid next to nothing to begin with. I hope they got paid in that last season. I really do.
I think they did pretty well. Yeah.
But to kind of add on to what Michelle was saying and a tie to what Culture was saying, with the Duffer Brothers, they had extremely tight show running. and you could see that. You couldn't see that with the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. You couldn't see it with Star Wars. And it kind of goes back to, let's say, before the pandemic, because this is what I remember during one of the earnings calls. I think someone had asked, Bob Iger at the time, what's your plan for Disney Plus? Because Netflix and Hulu, they have all this new, fresh content that they're just putting out regularly. What are your plans to compete with that? And do you know what Iger said?
What?
People are coming to see our legacy content.
The legacy.
How's that going, really, Bob? We shouldn't have to. We're not really in a hurry to create any original content. And then the pandemic popped off, and they were behind the 8 ball, and now you see the result of that.
Yep, they said. They said very early on that it was not going to be a content aggregation play like Hulu, and look, here they're going to try to slip Hulu in to be the sixth blade over there on Disney Plus, and I don't think they've fully thought that through.
So with that being said, and because Michelle's been making all the points here, what is your expectation for not just Ahsoka, but this Acolyte show where they're spending, as was suggested by Pro and Jonas, $200+ million? Or I mean, it's $250 million we know for Acolyte, but would you be? I mean, that's an awful lot of money for 6 episodes of marginal television, 8 episodes of marginal television.
Star Minor Conflict.
Yeah, there's no war.
Well, Lorena, what do you? I mean, look at the disparity, though. This is what's crazy, and it's exactly right. When we look at the budgets for Stranger Things season 1 and season 2 versus the budgets we're getting for things like Andor, Ahsoka, Acolyte. What's up with these A's, by the way? AAA, and it's not AAA at all. But anyway, Lorena, it seems to me that there's not a correlation between this massive expenditure and what you get back out of it, at least when it comes to Lucasfilm.
Absolutely, and that's something that I've noticed. These episodes that cost millions of dollars, and you wind up with piss poor CGI and lousy color palettes and everything. Like in the Book of Boba Fett, you're getting something that looks like the Power Rangers in dusty ass Tatooine. That doesn't make sense.
You didn't like the 5 mile per hour chase scene of the Vespas? Is that your thing?
Or the spinning before they shoot, that type of.
Hey, that was ridiculous.
They owe Lord Callis money for that. Actually,
let me just point out a little bit of quick math here: $200 million, and it's pretty clear that it's going to cost more than that when it's all said and done. $200 million, not counting how much they're going to pay to advertise it. You divide that by $7.99, and then let's say divide that again by 6 months. That means that they need more than 4 million people to subscribe only for that show for at least 6 months. And stay again 6 months longer than the show is going to be on. I'm doing them a lot of favors here. They need to get 4 million people to subscribe only for that property in order for that to be worth it. And right now they're losing subscribers in their key markets, their core markets, as Bob Iger likes to describe them. There is no way they're getting their money back on the Acolyte.
No, there's no way. And I want to point out even something else I was thinking of with this budget comparison. Stranger Things season 4, I think some of the price even being at 30 million, they came back at the very beginning of the pandemic, like when they were allowed to. So they had all the heightened cost of that going on. And then secondly, almost every episode in season 4 was over an hour long. Yeah. I mean, Disney's episodes some week might be 28 minutes. Like there's no rhyme or reason for the time. They're not even in the same ballpark. Like it will be an hour, 30 minutes. Like and then
it seems like what you're trying to suggest is people like consistency.
Yes.
And I strongly disagree.
Well, one thing I think we can all agree on is we've had some amazing super chats. We want to thank Buford T. Justice for having sent in this one about Lorne, and we hope that that Buford will be there when Lorne gives his thoughts on Ahsoka tonight. Member exclusive live stream at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. We just keep working and working for you, and then of course we're so thankful for KMG sending that one in as well. We've got some others though, Jonas. Let's go through these super chats.
Absolutely. Matt G, member for 3 months. Disney called Taylor Swift asking to borrow money.
She's about to have more after this Hulu purchase.
And she said, Taylor Swift?
T-Swift got the bank, yo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she does.
Well, maybe she wanted to be Dazzler. Who knows? Space Dave 2000 sends in a $2 Canadian one for, by the way, Jonas, it's Chique.
Chique.
No, that's
Chique, I believe it's
Chique.
And I have to say, you are absolutely correct.
On you,
Space
Mr.
Dave
Clone.
2000, because you gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much.
So kind of you.
Click on that if they're not already gone, and you can join us at 11 p.m. Eastern Time tonight for the exclusive. And then that review, along with some more info, will come out tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for everybody.
And
That's a member exclusive, right, Pro, tonight?
Tonight, yes, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
In the Uno Mas super chat, it's also the first super chat from Freddie Kurgan Nemo for $10. Thank you so much. Born in 78, big Star Wars fan my entire life until 2014. Kathleen Backstabber Kennedy and Dave full of baloney Filoni destroyed the franchise. Just canceled my Disney Plus subscription. That's saying a lot in my opinion. If they're watching those numbers and you cancel here 2 hours before the premiere of Ahsoka,
right? What better statement can you make?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I like to, if you cancel Disney Plus, if you call in those nice Indian ladies that run the calls there, will very politely and with their Disney magic way take all of your complaints and apologize on behalf of Bob Iger for what he's done as best they can.
That's right. Well, Jonas, we have, of course, lots of things coming down the pike. We've got That Park Place, the YouTube channel, will be launching in September. And I think in the very near term, we're going to be announcing the day and date and some more stuff about how that's going to work and how we're going to be using that to sort of bring together all of these great channels, all of these content creators who are doing such awesome things. And this has been a stream to celebrate the magnificent milestones that we've seen. Of course, Culture Casino reaching 10,000 subscribers, Force of Light reaching 20, Lorena about to pass 6 after we had just her 5,000. So she's like accelerating massively. Wilton the Troll, on behalf of Force of Light, he, of course, has Wilton, it's all you. It's just you. You've gotten the channel monetized.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Absolutely. So let's watch this ad one more time from Floral from Under a Rock for That Park Place. Then I want to come back and get final thoughts out of our panelists about their channels and what exciting stuff we can expect out of their content coming forth in the future.
Clickbait. Fraud. Drama queen. Ugh. I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh my.
Wow.
All right, now speaking of Floral from Under a Rock, Wilton, tell us what you've got coming up on deck on your channel. Why should people be subscribing over there to you guys?
Well, why should they subscribe? Well, because if you like puppets, because you're weird like that, we're for you. And the next thing is on tomorrow night we have our first monetization stream, and we got the lovely WDW Pro sewing up. We got Snow Dub sewing up, if you guys know him. And yeah, so that's gonna be happening at the exact same time as the Republican debates. So you choose which puppet show you want to watch. Okay, so we're only on for an hour, and it'll be fun. So
I beg of you to put out a commercial for this first monetization stream that says that exact line. That is the best line ever. And folks, we're not taking a political stance. We would say it about the left, but they don't have debates, so all fair.
Thank you.
Well,
all right.
Culture, you're doing phenomenally, of course, with your YouTube channel. Tell us why you think that is and what you've got for the folks out there who want to see more of it.
Well, look, I offer 2 videos a day on average. I also offer one of those being the 6-minute daily, which is a recap of news, pop culture news, entertainment news, you name it, all in 6 minutes, which is only 12 and a half minutes long. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's up to an hour longer. So it's increasingly misnamed stream. But you do get 2 videos in addition to that. And then on the weekends, I do drop a few things here and there. And I kind of have some other live streams. And if you want to hear me use some blue language, the only time I do that's on Sunday nights on my channel. Otherwise, I'm PG. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Michelle, tell us about what Force of Light has for the future.
Check out my sister and I at Force of Light. Well, let's see. Probably tomorrow we have our reaction to Wayne's World. We watched that for the first time. Had a lot of fun with that. And then
Wayne's
also,
World. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Good.
Wayne's
Sorry.
World. It was fun. But then we also have when I get off here, I'm going to record. I've not watched the trailer for the new Snyder movie on Netflix.
Rebel Moon.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that and react. So I'm going to get my reaction out to that here in just a few minutes. And then Ahsoka, back in the day, this would have just been a full-on review week per week, but it may end up being a members-only situation. Because I just don't know the level of interest, honestly, for Ahsoka and Star Wars in general, I mean. But check us out. We've got lots of stuff coming, and check us out over there.
In a sea of pixie dusters, one channel is beginning to gain traction to the point that they know now where they can find out the actual real scoop on the theme parks and get legitimate, real opinions that are actually helpful. Because guess what, folks? If you get the pixie dust crowd out there, they just tell you positives, even when you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. Lorena is not there to blow the pixie dust. She actually tells you what's really going on. Lorena, what's coming up on your channel that people need to know about?
Well, folks, let's see. I just dropped a review of Blue Beetle yesterday, and I got really spicy with that particular review. So please do go and check that one out. Let's see. As for Ahsoka, if you're a channel member, let's just say I'm going to share the pain with all of you. So we are actually watching the 2 episodes of Ahsoka live tonight. So my channel members are going to get to see my reaction to watching that this evening. And I'm going to wind up reviewing it because I'm a glutton for punishment. So,
got nothing better
people
to
seem to like that.
We're going to break the record for the latest we have ever brought someone on to the channel. Stephen, you wanted to stop by just to say something. So welcome aboard. You got 2 minutes, Stephen. Take it away.
Where's my money?
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wilton ate it.
Yeah, probably did because after he pushed Culture off the roof. Congrats to Lorena and Culture. These people I have known pretty much since I've started here, whether it be on YouTube as he goes off camera because he's embarrassed. Thank you. They deserve everything they work for, whether they're hounding in the Dark Council to behave themselves or hounding in everyone on a late night Culture because they're breaking every rule that Culture tries to give and no one listens to Dad ever. But they deserve it. Everyone who's subbed and watching their stuff, they deserve it. They put up with us because we have to put up with you, chat. Trust me, we write stories. We just haven't made the videos yet. But we love all of
we love everyone out there.
I'm kidding.
Sort of.
And Stephen, before we go, you've actually you've been doing some amazing things on your channel, but not on the YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on a different platform?
Actually, pretty much Rumble has been kind of blowing up. We're hitting sometimes 1K viewers just watching a please wait screen for Wayfinder to start. That was over 19 hours in 2 days of straight streaming, and it was great. We just finished Fort Solace, and that turned out great on Twitch and Rumble. So I'm good. I'm happy. And if you wonder where my Twitter is, it is deactivated, and it's staying.
We are honored too, Stephen, that you are helping out on that Park Place, not only on the art side of things, but you're adding gaming expertise, which we desperately need. So thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate
it.
Now,
folks, we've got to come to an end here because it's time for us to settle down for the day and get ready for Ahsoka All of these channels out there are probably going to be covering it over the next few days. Don't forget about the member exclusive live stream coming out tonight at 11 p.m. on this channel. And folks, make sure that you are subscribed to all of these fantastic people. They, each and every day, work very hard to earn your subscription and your time with their excellent content. So folks, we end it this way, as we often and always do, reminding you that, yes, there may be growth on these channels. Yes, there may be accolades and milestones. But we never forget that, in fact, it is you. You are the one, each and every one of you out there, who drives the success for all of us. You are the gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
The mainstream media may wish to wonder why, how are they all doing this? How are these channels growing? Well, it's because
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep
having fun.
Fun!
Where's my money?
Thank you very much, JB Spooky Reviews.
We're being kicked.
Bye.
Congrats, everybody. You guys deserve it.
Bye. Thanks for being here.